Same thing. D.C. residents rip the mask off these so-called crime is down narratives that's going around. CNN gets dismantled live on there by people who actually know the truth, and Trump himself shuts down the fake news reporters with facts that they can't even try to spin. And wait until you see how Gavin Newsom and Oakland's mayor accidentally proved Trump right. Let's get into it.
Hear from city leaders and others that crime is actually down. Are you seeing that?
No, I'm not seeing it. We're seeing carjackings, the violence in the communities. So we were advocating then for the National Guard to come out, but they said there was no need. But think about how many lives could have been saved just having them on the scene.
And Asia says still to this day, she's not heard from one detective about those crimes committed against her family. Now, for Tempe Satcher, another D.C. resident, her son BJ was gunned down in a random drive-by shooting on the way to work 2 years ago, and she does not feel that crime has calmed down.
Just today, a young lady was shot over on 15th Street in Northeast D.C. Does that seem like crime gone down? With all the things that are going on with our president, sending the National Guards out, I don't have a problem with that personally, because if MPD can't do it and they need help, then I'm glad they're able to get the help.
Now, you hear from the people themselves as opposed to the media talking heads trying to convince you that the people aren't in agreement with this, at least most. This is the voice D.C. leaders do not want you to hear. A mother who's lived the reality they hide behind press conferences. She's not quoted. She's not quoting manipulated like stats and nothing like that, right? She's burying her son. And while Bowser called the National Guard unnecessary, she's, sitting there telling you it could have saved lives. That's not politics, y'all. That's survival. And while the people of D.C. cry out for safety, the political class keeps shifting the blame. And CNN proves it.
Republicans are for legal gun ownership. Of course, we believe in the Second Amendment.
Toss it aside and move
well, you're
forward.
making an allegation, and I don't know that it is true. I'm just saying that Republicans want to enforce the law, and the laws of D.C. have obviously not been enforced to the point where the citizens believe they're safe. That's the point of this 30-day.
But Donald Trump on day 2 of his administration.
Republicans also want fewer gun laws, period. So yes, they want legal gun ownership, but they also don't want as much regulation on guns at all. So I think that's
But a Republican would also tell you, and since I am one, I will, that it's not the guns. It's the criminals running around the streets of D.C.
I mean, by that token, you would leave the illegal guns.
A gun becomes illegal when a violent person uses it on another person.
That's
what happens.
You need to look a little bit more into how this. We're talking about where a gun starts and where it ends. Guns on the black market. And the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act,
Republicans don't support.
Then why is Donald Trump getting rid of all the programming, all the funding in the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which is the reason why the last 3 years
the issue in DC
gun violence has gone down the most we've seen in the history of this country? We still have a lot of work to
do. Scott Jennings laid it bare. Now, I don't even know what this guy was talking about, bro. He I don't know. It's not about the inanimate object. It's about the criminals who use them. Republicans say punish the person. Democrats say punish the tool. Meanwhile, the victims get neither justice nor safety. It's like they're allergic to admitting the obvious for some reason. I never understand it. And when the obvious is too uncomfortable, some people would rather make it about anything else, like race.
Do you think D.C. is dangerous?
No, D.C. is not dangerous. Why would you feel like it's dangerous? I'm going to ask you a question.
Because it's actually the 4th most dangerous city in the country based on homicide rates.
I know that's absolutely right.
Now, I want y'all to peep why he's defensive.
But do y'all feel like it's dangerous because it's black people?
No.
Okay.
Why would it be because of a skin color?
Oh, that's what I'm asking. That's why I asked that question. But I don't feel like DC's dangerous. What part in specific is dangerous for y'all?
See, there you go again, trying to wheel them back into you making this about race.
The homicides and the carjackings. And,
right. Yeah, I agree with the carjacking and everything about that nature. I agree with for sure. But homicides, that's everywhere.
So, do you agree with Trump's action to take over the city with federal troops to make it peaceful?
No, I absolutely do not agree with that.
Why not?
For me, I don't feel like the protection will like sustain as far as in the city itself. Because it's like you have Navy troops taking over, but you got to think about the metropolitan.
I think the training is different. Military is different than police. Police work for the people.
Yes.
The military do too. Yeah, they protect us, but they're focused on combat. There's no combat needed in the streets.
Well, there's gunfire in the streets. There's people getting shot and killed.
I'm law enforcement myself, and the training is completely different. It's completely different.
So how have you guys been handling the crime recently? Do you feel like it's gotten better or worse?
So I'm from Miami, so it gets no worse than Miami. But like
it is worse in Miami, actually. If he deploys federal troops and everything becomes safer, will you say that is successful?
If it was to come to that rate and crimes drop, totally.
Now, y'all seen how quickly the conversation left facts and then went straight into skin color, right? Y'all seen that? D.C. is the 4th most dangerous by homicide rate. He didn't care about, well, it's black people? Basically. You know, that's not an opinion, though. That's hard data that he was bringing up. But instead of sticking to that, you got topic drifts, deflection, you know, to a radical litmus test. That's how the real solutions get buried under the feel-good distractions, if you will. And when distraction fails, the goal shifts to total deflection, okay? Even in the middle of a murder conversation.
My advice on this, as a punditry matter, would be, well, let's see where we are at the end of 30 days. How much progress have they made? And then Congressman can make an assessment at that point about whether this is working, and maybe it would help to extend it a little bit.
I guess I'm old enough, Scott, to remember when you were appalled, as the rest of us were, on January 6th, when he wouldn't.
Because January 6th happened. Should we not enforce the law today?
Excuse me.
Do you want murders today?
Let me finish, Scott.
January 6th equals no enforcement of murders. This is a silly argument.
No, let me finish before you make a point about a silly
argument.
It'll
be silly, but go ahead.
No, what's silly is you sitting down with Mitch McConnell over Chick-fil-A and lamenting how Donald Trump was putting all of you, including Mitch McConnell, in harm's way. But I guess now you're so...
I wasn't in harm's way. I was in Louisville.
No, your then boss, your friend Mitch McConnell certainly was. But, you know, now...
January 6th was a bad day.
Can I finish?
Murders are also bad.
Can I finish?
I want murders solved.
Can I finish?
Just let her finish.
Scott's going to...
Well, if she wants to come out here and take pot shots at me, I'm not going to allow it. It's a stupid argument. I'm not going to allow it.
Scott, just let her finish. I don't even know that we've even heard the argument yet.
No, we heard it. We heard everything.
That you were denying. So go ahead,
Scott, I know you're thirsty for that Senate seat, but let me finish. What I'm going to say...
Again, you allow this every night.
Scott, just give me 1 second here. Let's just let her finish, please.
Okay.
Just one
Listen, I know you've got the picky thing going on, but here's what I'm going to say.
What are you thirsty for? Some kind of relevance out here?
No, actually, Scott.
I don't know what you do for a living.
Now, that's how you do it. That's how you respond. Oh, man, because this right here is the left's favorite move. You say stop the murders, and they scream January 6th. It's the permanent get out of accountability card, they think. But notice what's missing. An actual plan to keep people from getting killed tonight, tomorrow, or next week. Meanwhile, the man that they hate the most, he's actually answering the questions they pretend to care about.
Crime. Are you concerned at all that some federal officers that are helping D.C. police might be being pulled away from other high priority assignments?
Like what? Like what?
Terrorism, for example.
Oh, really? Terrorism? They'll stop terrorism as part of what they're doing right now. No. The soldiers that we have, first of all, we have plenty of them, long beyond that you have here. We're just using a very small force. You know, in Washington, D.C., they have thousands of police. They have a lot of police, but the police weren't allowed to do their job. We have a lot of great ones. And you have some that weren't so good, to be honest, but they weren't allowed to do their job. But now they are allowed to do their job, and essentially it's only 2 days, but you look at the numbers already, they're dropping. And no, they're not being pulled off for anything.
Mr. President, as you know, there were some very concerning reports about crime statistics. Police are manipulating crime data to downplay crime in D.C. Will the administration release its own crime statistics to counter their misinformation? And will those individuals who are intentionally misrepresenting crime data and fudging the books, like you said, be penalized for endangering the public?
They are under investigation right now. They are giving us phony crime stats, just like they gave other stats in the financial world. but they're phony crime stats. And Washington, D.C. is at its worst point, and it will soon be at its best point. You're going to have a very safe, you're going to have a crime-free city. I mean, I say that. You're going to have virtually a crime-free city. And these are strong men, but the criminals are strong men and women, but they're strong men. And these are people that don't play games. We're not playing games. These are criminals we're dealing with. And they treated people. They took one of the people that worked for us the other day. You saw the beating, the pounding, 10 against 1. And they pounded the hell out of him. He's lucky to be alive. He's barely, almost killed. And we're not going to have that happening, please.
Tulsi Gabbard declassified more documents last night related to the Russiagate hoax.
She's doing a great job, by the way. That was another fake story. I'm very happy with the job she's doing.
Trump didn't just brush off that pulled from terrorism question. He crushed it. D.C. has thousands of officers, but until now, they were handcuffed by their own leadership. 2 days into letting them work, crime is already dropping. And yes, the people who falsified the stats to hide that reality are under investigation, as they should be. Because that's what actual leadership looks like. And it's not just D.C., by the way. California's governor basically handed Trump the blueprint for where to go next.
That people are leaving in droves, businesses are leaving, and it's just gotten to a point where no one is comfortable. Well, we've been saturating with the CHP and others supporting local law enforcement. They're wildly understaffed. They're not doing any pursuits. They're not we're not prosecuting even people that are being arrested. And you got folks. I mean, I had a member of my staff. Now listen to this. A member of my staff with her daughter, and a gun was put to the kid's head in the stroller to take the diapers. I mean, at what point do I say, okay, that's the kind of stuff like that's where people are leaving.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom standing in the middle of his own urban collapse talking about people leaving in droves. Businesses gone, streets unsafe. This isn't MAGA propaganda. This is his own words on his own turf. He accidentally campaigned for Trump without even knowing it. But instead of, fixing anything, here's how one mayor decided to fight back, by crying. Racist.
But let me just say also, it's not lost on anyone that the cities that he is calling out, first of all, have large numbers of black and brown people. Secondly, the crime rate is going down in all of these cities. Thirdly, they're all headed by black mayors. Now, what does that say? What does that picture paint? So we all know who he is. Also, let me just say here in Oakland, for example, we have but let me just say also, it's not.
Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee says it's not lost on her that Trump is calling out cities run by black mayors with large black and brown populations. Don't mention that those cities are drowning in crime. Because if you can make it about identity, you never have to make it about results. So here's the truth that, unfortunately, they'll never put in a press release. D.C. residents, law enforcement, and even their political opponents are proving Trump's strategy right. They prove that it works. The only people that are fighting against it are the ones who, let's say, benefit from the chaos. And we all know that. And now, thanks to voices like these, the excuses are out in the open. So, same thing. I want y'all to stay loud. We got to shine light so these lies can't survive. Y'all be safe. Please do me a big solid favor. Please. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Thank y'all so much for all the donations for my niece's funeral. My sister, she's been overwhelmed with love, and y'all really, really, really showed out. So thank y'all, man. Peace.